Hello my dear students, in this video we are going to study crystal field theory for tetrahedral complexes. So to understand the tetrahedral complexes my dear students, just look at this diagram. In tetrahedral complexes, the central metal atom is bonded with 4 ligands tetrahedrally. Alright, so the 3-dimensional space, the orientation of the metal and ligand comes like that. And these are the 3 axes according to the 3-dimensional space which I have made here. So you can see here that ligands are approaching central metal atom not through along the axis. No, not through along the axis. They are approaching the ligand from the space in between the axis. It is just opposite to the octahedral complexes. In the octahedral complexes, ligands approach along the axis, but in tetrahedral they are approaching from the space between the axis. Now look at the diagram of the d orbital. Orientation of the lobes of d orbital. So we know 5 d orbitals are there: dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square. So dxy, dyz and dzx orbitals, they have their lobes in between the axis. Alright, and dx square minus y square and dz square orbitals, they have the lobes along the axis. I hope it is clear. Now when ligands approach the central metal atom or ion in case of tetrahedral complexes, the orbitals which have their lobes oriented between x and y orbitals, between x and y axis, x and y or x and z, whatever is the axis, then these orbitals, they get the maximum repulsion. So this time in case of tetrahedral complexes, T2G set of orbitals. T2G set means dxy, dyz, dzx. These 3 orbitals are always called as T2G set orbitals. So T2G set orbitals, they get the maximum repulsion. Alright. Since dx square minus y square dz square set of orbital, which is also known as EG set of orbital, they have their lobes along the axis, and ligands are not approaching along the axis, though they get the minimum repulsion. So remember, in tetrahedral complexes, EG set get the minimum repulsion and T2G set gets the maximum repulsion. So now the situation in the tetrahedral complexes is just opposite to the octahedral complexes. In octahedral complexes, T2G with the minimum repulsion and EG with the maximum repulsion. In tetrahedral complexes, EG with the minimum repulsion and T2G with the maximum repulsion. So splitting will be opposite to the octahedral complexes. Now let us see the splitting, dear students. Here we have 5 d orbitals which are degenerate. Degenerate means all 5 orbitals are of same energy when the metal doesn't come in contact of ligands. Now when ligands approach central metal atom or ion, then these 5 degenerate orbitals, they reach to the hypothetical degeneracy. After reaching to the hypothetical degeneracy in the closest proximity of the ligand, then these hypothetically degenerate 5 orbitals split up into 2 sets, and this splitting depends upon the direction from where the ligands are approaching. Since ligands are approaching from the space between the axes, so the orbitals between the axes, that is T2G, get the maximum repulsion. So its energy of T2G set orbitals is more than the hypothetical degeneracy. Alright, clear? And EG set has energy lesser than the hypothetical degeneracy. Why? Because they are getting least repelled, minimum repulsion. Now let us see how much is the energy. As I told you the trick in the octahedral complexes, same trick we are going to apply here. Dear students, this time the representation of the crystal field splitting energy will be delta T. T means tetrahedral complex. Alright. Now, there are 5 orbitals. Now, T2G set orbitals have more energy than 2 EG set orbitals. So, their energy is raised by how much fraction? 2 by 5. Since energy is raised plus. Alright, so T2G set has how much more energy? They have energy more than the 2 EG orbitals, no? So how much more energy? Plus 2 by 5, that is equals to Z plus 0.4 delta T. Now EG set will have energy less than the hypothetical degeneracy. Minus stands for less. How much? They have energy lesser than those 3 orbitals, no? So it is 3 by 5. They have 3 by 5 fraction of energy lesser than the hypothetical degeneracy. Since they have less energy, so minus, which is equals to how much, dear students? It is 0.6 minus delta T. So this is the crystal field splitting in case of tetrahedral complexes. Now filling of the electron takes place just like strong and weak ligands. Alright, if we have weak ligands cannot bring about pairing. Alright, so no pairing of electron will take place. In case of a strong ligand, pairing is caused. So pairing of electron takes place in the EG set. I hope it is clear. If you apply all those tricks, what I taught you, you can write the electronic configuration in case of tetrahedral complexes as well. Now let us practice one case. Suppose we have a strong ligand. We have a strong ligand complex with the strong ligand. Alright. Now complex with the strong ligand, this D has got the configuration. Suppose we have D5 configuration. Metal with the D5 configuration. So we are supposed to fill 5 electrons. Alright. So, and the ligand is a strong ligand means pairing will take place. Alright. So we'll start filling electron as per the Hund's rule. So 1, 2. Pairing will take place here. 3, 4. After pairing, the 5th electron will go to the higher energy, that is T2G set. Clear? So this way the filling of electron takes place in case of a strong ligand. Now suppose in place of a strong ligand, we take here any weak ligand with the D5 configuration. Now I will overwrite here the electrons. Now 5 electrons we are supposed to fill in case of weak ligand. Weak ligand means, dear students, there will be no pairing. Alright. So 1, okay, I'll use a different color here. 1, 2, no pairing, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this 5 electrons will get paired up. If it would have been D6, then 6th electron afterwards would get paired up here. I hope it is clear.